For this Madden Guides video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a couple blitz setups from a play out of the dime rush formation that brings pressure on the quarterback within 2 seconds and generally comes from not only the strong side defensive tackle, but you can also get pressure from the 2 outside defensive backs that are blitzing. For this video breakdown, the name of the defense that we use is called Dime Rush DB Blitz, and you can find it out of these 9 playbooks. And for the video breakdown, we're going to use the Bears defensive playbook. The only coach adjustment that we're going to make for this video breakdown is to go ahead and change the auto alignment and set it to base. All right, we're going to make 2 substitutions here along the defensive line. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just so you can see what we're going to do here. And right now, currently what we have is we have Sweat. He's lined up right here as you look at your screen. He's lined up at the left end position. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring him to the inside where he lines up at the strong side defensive tackle. Currently, Dexter's lined up at the strong side defensive tackle. So let's go ahead and make these substitutions as you look at your screen here. And we're going to take him out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put Taylor in at the left end position. And then we're going to go inside and we're going to sub out Dexter and put Sweat. The reason we do this is because we're looking to use Sweat's speed to get to the quarterback a lot quicker than what Dexter or any of the other defensive linemen of the Bears would have done. So that's the substitutions that we're going to make for this video breakdown. All right, this particular defense, as far as the Dime Rush DB Blitz, you can see right now as you look at it, it is a cover 0 defense, so we have no safeties playing any type of deep coverage. But what makes this defense nice is that you do get some outside pressure coming from these defensive backs. So as you look at your screen, you're going to have it from these inside dime backs that are lined up right here. So they're going to both be blitzing off the edge, applying the pressure on the quarterback from both sides of the field there. Now, you can run this play as is, and one of those guys will generally get in. Let's go ahead and run it here. I'll show you what I mean by that, and then we'll go back into it and we'll actually break down the play as far as how we do the setup. But let's just run this real quick, and you can see right there we get pressure off the edge from the left side. So without making any adjustments, as long as there's only a 5-man pass protection scheme and you got 6 guys rushing, you're going to get some pressure on the quarterback. What I want to show you is how you can actually get not just 1 guy in, but 2 guys in against a 5-man pass protection scheme. So I'm going to go ahead and show that here with this blitz setup I'm about to show. All right, now I want to show you guys how to do the blitz setup here from the Dime Rush DB Blitz. And this one's real simple. You're just going to go ahead and call press coverage. And then next thing you want to do is call QB contain. And right there you can see the setup so far as you look at it. And then you're going to switch over to the defensive tackle. In this case, it's going to be Sweat, who's lined up the strong side there as you look at your screen there. And what you want to do with him is you want to put him into a bluff blitz. So let's do that right here as you look at your screen. And there you can see it once I do it. He'll be in the bluff blitz. So there you go. There's the setup right there. And what I like to do before the ball is snapped, I like to hold down the right trigger. This is going to allow me to manually rush him right between the center and the right guard, because the right guard's going to kick over towards the right side to look to help block these pass rushers coming off the right side of the offensive line. So let's go ahead and run this, and you'll see what I mean with this one. It's pretty nice as far as bringing the pressure on the quarterback. And right there you can see I just come up the gut and I get the pressure. Now generally you're going to end up getting pressure coming from the outside from the defensive backs, at least one of them. Let's run it again, the same setup here. So as you look at it, I'm just going to do all the adjustments as we go through it here real quick for you so you can see it. All right, there's the hot routes right there as you look at it. And let's go ahead and run it one more time here as you look at it. Same setup here. We just come up through the gut and we get the pressure on the quarterback right there. So you can see right there it came from the strong side defensive tackle, one that I'm in control of, and then it also came from the defensive back that was blitzing off the left side. What I want to do here is I want to go into instant replay and show you more of the X and O's of the play and the way it works. From the top down view, you can kind of get a better idea here in the instant replay that kind of shows you the X and O's of the play. And what I really want to concentrate on, at least initially, is the pass blocking as far as on the offensive line. So as you look at this, let's just kind of go through a little bit a little bit frame by frame here. And you can see right here as you look at it, this guy right here, the left tackle, is going to look to block this outside pass rusher, which is this defensive end coming off the edge. And you can see right there. And then if we zoom in a little bit more, this guy right here, which is going to be the center, he's really not, well, not center, but the left guard, he's really not blocking anybody, at least initially. You can see right there, he's lying there, kind of just blocking space. And he's not blocking anybody until right there, and then he ends up going after the strong side defensive tackle and blocking him along with the center. The problem is that no one picks up this guy, because you got to remember, this is the one that I'm in control of. And if you remember earlier when we did the setup, we put him into a bluff zone. We're supposed to be dropping him back. So as far as the AI is concerned, he's not supposed to be rushing the quarterback. And so they don't only look to block him. Matter of fact, if we work our way over towards the right guard, as you look at it, he's actually kicking over here. Let me change the telestrator there. But he's blocking this guy right here. He's looking to block to the outside. He's going to kick out and try to block this guy who's coming off the edge. In this case, it's going to be this defensive back. And you can see right there. And then if you look over to the next guy over to him, to the right of him, which is going to be this guy right here, he's going to be blocking that in over there, rushing the quarterback. But really, no one's really blocking anybody else as far as those other two guys. That defensive back's coming off the edge over here, plus the guy that I'm in control of, and we're allowed to get this pressure on the quarterback, such as what you see. Now, the pass coverages, as I've already pointed out, this is a cover zero defense, and the problem with that is there could be somebody open deep, especially if they got an elite receiver is able to get off the press coverage. That could be an issue. Hopefully you get to the quarterback quick enough. You can see right now, if the quarterback, or in your case, your opponent, was trying to find somebody real quick to throw to, you might be able to dump the ball underneath here to one of these guys and beat the blitz. But that's the idea, this is to bring the pressure. Hopefully he doesn't see it, and you're able to get to the quarterback pretty quick. Now, as I pointed out earlier, when I first showed the video, this comes in pretty quick. And if we bring up the ticker, let's go ahead and bring up the ticker here so you guys can see that and take a look at as far as how fast we get the pressure on the quarterback. All right, with the ticker brought up, let's see how fast we can get to the quarterback here as far as bringing the pressure on the quarterback there. And right there, you can see we get to it just roughly under 2.5 seconds. We're able to get to the quarterback pretty quick. So definitely a blitz worth taking a look at as far as bringing the pressure on the quarterback. Now, you can actually get this a little bit quicker. I probably was a little bit delayed when I was coming in, but just remind yourself when you do this, make some practice. And the faster that defensive lineman is, the quicker you can get. The advanced blitz setup is very similar to the original setup. The only difference is we're actually going to bring everybody tighter as far as on the defensive line, tighter in. That's going to also allow the defensive tackle to be closer to the quarterback. You'll see here in a second what I mean by that. And he's going to get to the quarterback just a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and show you guys a setup here. And rather than doing what I did earlier with press coverage, what I want to do is I want to bring up the shift defense and then pinch, such as you see on your screen right there as you look at it. And then the next thing you want to do is call QB contain. And then finally, you want to put the strong side defensive tackle into a bluff blitz. Let's see if we can get him in there for ourselves here. And then right there, sometimes when you're in, it's just lag sometimes. But anyway, you can see right there, he's in the bluff blitz. So there's the setup right there as you look at your screen right there. And then you want to hold down the right trigger. Now, when you guys look at this before I actually run this, you can see that as you look at it, his blitz angle is definitely a lot closer than what it would have been if he would have been lined up on the outside. So you can see right there, he should be able to get to the quarterback a little bit quicker. The one thing you got to watch for with this setup is the right guard. You got to make sure that he kicks out towards the right here to block one of these guys to the outside before you actually rush the quarterback. If you rush this guy too quick, the strong side defense tackle, if you rush him too quick, then he may end up getting blocked by that right guard. So that's the one thing you got to watch out for. So let's go ahead and hold down the right trigger before the snap. And then once the ball is snapped, we'll wait till he goes out, and then we'll go after the quarterback right there and apply the pressure on him. Now, the one thing cool about this setup that I'm showing here, a lot of times, not only will you get pressure from the strong side defensive tackle, but you may also get pressure from both of the defensive backs. So that's the one thing I like about this setup a little bit better than the first one I showed as far as with this one. So there's the QB contain. Again, we'll put him in into a bluff blitz and hold down that right trigger. Wait till that tackle slides over, and then we apply the pressure on the quarterback. Let's go into instant replay real quick and look at the X and O's of the play, because I want you guys to look at that right guard, the one I was talking about sliding over. All right, back in the X and O's of the play here in instant replay, we can look at the blitz setup again, and I can kind of show you a little bit closer at that right guard, the one that you're kind of looking at, the one as far as what you need to wait for as far as getting the pressure with the strong side defensive tackle. So there he is, and he's going to look to block to the outside here. More likely, he's going to look to block this guy right here blitzing off the edge, this defensive back. But you got to wait until he starts to go out there to block before you can actually manually rush this guy right here up through that A gap. As far as that strong side defensive tackle, you have to wait until he goes out to the outside. So that's the one thing I want you guys to look at when you do this. So right there, see how you wait? Well, I'm waiting. And once he starts to go, that's when I go after the quarterback. Now, the cool thing about this particular blitz setup is you can see right here that we're getting that pressure coming from the outside from these two guys, both of them, not just one of them, but both of them. Now, like I said, what may happen here is he may end up getting out here to block him, but a lot of times he ends up running into the right tackle, such as what you're going to see here, and he won't be able to get out fast enough. The other thing you've got to remember is if your opponent sees this guy coming up the gut, as far as with him bringing pressure up the gut, this is the guy you're in control of, the strong side defensive tackle, then what he may end up wanting to try to do is he may want to try to roll out away from the blitz coming up the gut here. And if he does that, he's going to run into one of those defensive tackles. So that's something that you definitely want to watch out for with this particular blitz setup, is that he may do that. If he's a player that likes to roll his quarterback out, and he's going to roll right into the blitz from the outside. If he tries to stay in the pocket, then you're going to get pressure coming up the gut as far as from the weak side defensive tackle. Don't forget, you want to mix this in with some of the other defenses out of the dime rush defense. Don't always run this like this, because obviously your opponent's going to start to pick up with that. So what I really wanted to talk about with this one is it's definitely a defense, a blitz setup that can definitely bring the pressure on the quarterback, but you got to be using it, you know, on occasion. Don't use it every single time, especially you're going to get the pressure on the quarterback. Mix it in with some of those other defenses, like I pointed out earlier, from the dime rush, and it's going to make this defense that much more effective.